Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It is Friday afternoon here in the Eastern Time Zone of the USA. It is 20 Zulu on June 28, 2024, and this is the weekend special. This is a show brought to you by DX Engineering that you never know what's going to happen or who's going to show up and what we're going to talk about. Today we have Ward Silver, N0AX. Hello, Ward.
Hi,
Special guest you are.
everything is good. So,
Everything is good in Missouri. Ward, with the weather the way it was, how was your field day? How was your field day, Ward?
well, field day, I had a whole bunch of family come in, and so I was in and out, in and out. But we went to the St. Charles Club field day, and Ellen went along with me. She's a school board member, so we get the bonus points for an elected official. Yay! And they'll put up some antennas and all that kind of stuff. And then I snuck in a few QSOs there, from home. It was a hot one here. It was 100 plus. So it was probably discretion being the better part of valor this time, but they had fun.
Oh, that's good. And that's what it's all about, is having fun. I know there are some people that kind of, they don't get really involved in field day. In fact, they say that their club is not very well organized. And Ward, I know you're a big proponent of clubs, and I would ask that those guys that didn't go out to field day because they feel their club is not organized, that maybe they try and help the club. They try to get involved with the club, right?
Right. You can say, well, if it's not very well organized, well, why don't you volunteer for next year? I'd love to, like here's 2 or 3 of us, and we'd like to help out so we can be a station captain or something, and figure out how to give it a try. And if it doesn't work out, get the ARL field day locator and go find a field day. We stumbled on the Steelville, Missouri field day. I took a wrong turn on a back road a couple of years ago and went by a sign that said field day. And I went, stop the presses. So
Right.
I did a 2-wheel and headed over on this little tiny road and went bouncing around and sure enough, there they were. And it was just like field days everywhere. And just this random guy just happened to drop in on their field day. Hey, how you doing? So
Right. Well, and that can be a lot of fun too. I really like the ARRL field day locator. It is really helpful. You can get out and meet, some new hams, and maybe even participate in some of the organization. But let's fast forward just a little bit, and let's talk about the Canada Day operating event, the Canada Day contest that kicks off on Monday, July 1st.
July 1st. It's a great contest, and I think it's 24 hours, something like that. It's a limited contest, not a weekend, not a giant weekend contest. It's their celebration of Canada, and you get all these interesting prefixes and some of these strange places that are on. I don't know if the VY0ERC station up in Nunavut is going to be active, but they have a science station up there, and all the special prefixes. And if you're going for one of the Canada Awards, this is a great way to fill up your logbook.
Well, it's to set. Are you seeing my my screen?
Yes.
Yes. So this is a great way, and all you have to do is Google Canada Day contest, and it is held by the Radio Association of Canada, and this is to celebrate the birthday of Canada. So it's like the U.S.'s July 4th, and I see that BE5 Charlie Papa United is the guy who you can contact if you have any questions. But Ward, I've found in the past that there's a lot of activity for this event.
Quite a lot. It's a very popular contest, and because it's sort of a quote domestic contest, you don't have to have big antennas or a lot of power to have a lot of fun. Just dipoles will get you a lot of contacts. So yeah, it's very active. Just lasts for the day, and have at it.
Now, the next event that I want to talk about that starts on July 1st is, I know, another one of your favorites, and this is the 13 Colonies special event.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes on for days. And this is another great opportunity where you don't have to have a big station.
Right, just persistence. What gets you through this is being active, keep your rear end in the chair, and chase these guys down. You can work them on 3 bands. They'll be active on all kinds of modes. I mean, all 3 modes and all 9, I think, HF bands. And I don't know if they're on 6 meters or not, but boy, it sure is fun. There's a lot of spots on the spotting network, and it's like a giant Parks on the Air event all crammed into this one little special event. Excellent. 1st to the 7th or whatever.
Right. Yeah. July 1st through the 7th, and 13colonies.us is the website, and a really good time and a very nice certificate. And the QSL cards that you can get from these stations are first rate. They're really well done. So this is another great opportunity to get on the air and have some fun. And how about those radio conditions, Ward? What do you think?
Whoa, today they're terrible. We got smacked by a CME. I heard something about, the bands are sure dead. And I went, So I went to the swpc.n0aa.gov site, and whammo, K was 8 today. So watch for Aurora perhaps this evening. There's a coronal mass ejection that slammed into the earth. They thought we were just going to get a little kind of a, and it went, ow! And so that's what makes, ham radio so interesting. Nobody else out there gets to experience this like we do. Sometimes it's not so good, and other times it's good. And today, with the CME having hit that first day, sometimes you get some really interesting propagation before things sort of settle down a little bit. So watch your 6 meters and your 2 meters. If you've ever heard an Aurora signal, it's something that'll stick with you. It sounds like Darth Vader. Luke, you're 5 and 9, and that kind of thing. So point your antennas north and see what you can get. But summertime propagation, after things kind of calm down here a little bit, nighttime propagation on the HF bands in summer is just a delight. And 20 meters is open, sometimes 15, depending on where you are. Through the day, you get sporadic E. There's all these interesting things that go on that are different even than just a few weeks ago. As the world turns and the sun kind of changes a little bit, and we're up here near the peak of cycle 25. Hey, go for it. Get out there, take a look.
Well, and that's what we've been waiting for. We all said, well, the peak is going to occur 2024, 2025. Well, here we are. Yep. And let's enjoy it. And you're right. In the Northern Hemisphere, certainly summertime conditions are just fabulous. And today on 6 meters and 2 meters, it might be a real surprise. So yeah, that's why it's always good to get on the air. Let's take a look at the chat room, Ward, and see who's watching today. From Mexico, it's X-Ray Echo 2 Zulu Zulu.
Hola.
And Drew is on with us. Kilo Delta 8 Charlie Mike November.
Nerd. Very good. Very good.
And Dino says, hi, Ward. I missed you as the licensed manual editor. But a job well done.
There you go. I did them and did them and did them, and that was enough.
And that, of course, that's Dino, Kilo Lima 0 Sierra. And we've got our friend Don, 7 Queen 6 Mike.
Ooh,
and nice to have you on, Don. And congratulations, Don, on getting the youngsters licensed over in Malawi. Uh, and I got to see Don here a few weeks ago, and I actually got to talk to one of the new licensees over there in Malawi. So it's just great, and tremendous job, Don. Congratulations. And our good friend from Oklahoma City, it's Frankie. And we've got KB8ZWT. Jeff is on today with us. He's getting ready for the 13 colonies, and we'll be talking to Jeff next week. And Frank, Kilo 5 Fox Juliet Alpha. Our friend Dan down in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. It's WA4 Mike Oscar Mike. In Philadelphia, it's Whiskey Juliet 3 United. And Don, Kilo Echo 8 Delta Oscar from Southern Indiana.
Wow.
And we've got Max, November Golf 7 Mike. Max has been doing some de-expeditions, and he's a all-around great operator. We've got from Ireland, it's Echo India 3, India Echo Bravo. Sid is on. And Jeff.
I wish I could toast a Guinness to
Jeff is on, November 8, India Bravo Whiskey from Dayton, Ohio. And our good friend John, Kilo Bravo 3 Hotel is on. John came to Field Day here, Ward, and John brought his Hallicrafters Cyclone.
Really? Oh.
And the Cyclone is a really nice radio. And it reminded me of field days of days ago where radios got warm and bugs got stuck in the VFO. And one thing about the Cyclone, the tent did not blow away.
Oh, no, absolutely not. You know, that's why the radio was called a Viking, because that's what it took to lift it. And then you had to carry it. And that was just a receiver, you know.
There were some new hams that had never seen a tube radio before. And so thank you, John, for you had to hoof it, you know, into the car and out of the car. Andrew is on Victor 51 Yankee Juliet. Always great to have you on, Andrew, from Namibia. No. And so all around the world, getting ready for Canada Day on July 1st. Yep. And then we've got 13 colonies. And then the IARU radio sport is right on the heels of all this activity. And Ward, now that you've finished up with the question pool, you finished up with the antenna book, you finished up with the handbook, what are you going to do with all your spare time?
Somehow I managed to fill it up. This year I get to be the station for N0AX. So this usually it's from HQ, and with all they're busy. And I said, hey, could I be N0AX? And the trustee said, well, let me check that out. And sure enough, I'm going to be N0AX, handing out that IARU multiplier. And there'll be 3 stations at N0AX high power on the air. And we have 5 more around the state of Missouri that will be active as well. We're trying to get everybody networked, so we're all sharing a log. So N0AX is portable 0 this year. That'll be fun. And so that's been a lot of work. Been climbing the towers. You can kind of, if I took my shirt off, you can see my farmer tan, but I'll spare you that experience. Up on the tower doing tower work and antennas and getting everything ready to go. And so we've got a big crew of 12 operators coming down to the station. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then after that, I have some more projects coming along. I wanted to mention, though, if you're really interested in propagation, there were some really good contributors to this book. I was the editor of it, but you get guys like K9LA and W3LPL and all that. This is an ARL book, here to there radio wave propagation. And what we did is we collected all of the handbook and the antenna book and some other material in the ARL library and brought it up to date, made it all consistent, got the latest and greatest added topics, all this kind of stuff. It's a great read. So
From Here to There, an outstanding book, and congratulations to you for herding everybody together. Carl, K9LA, and Frank, W3LPL, and others that were part of that team. That is really a good read, and it's the kind of thing that, boy, you're going to pick it up and you're going to learn something that you didn't know.
boy, I learned a lot just editing it, having
Yes.
those guys, those high power guys, discussing the fine points of absorption and blanketing and all kinds of things is just it's an amazing experience.
Well, and thank you to the ARRL for allowing you to put it all together and make it happen and make it available.
Interesting story about that. This was part of the handbook antenna book update for the big latest editions, and I said, we've got this chapter over here that's on propagation. We got this chapter over here. It's on propagation. They were written by different people at different times, maintained differently over the years. There was just a lot of places where they needed to be brought into sync. And so I said, let's have a master propagation chapter. We'll just have one. And then with everything, all the books, all the magazine articles, all that stuff, they can pull from one consistent source that's up to date. We got it all done. And it was 60,000 words. And the headquarters looked at that and went, I think that's a book. So it is now a book. And thanks to Becky and Mark Dirks for helping get it from just a big, long chapter into book format and making some really good suggestions for making it more interesting in various places. So anyway, that's how it came to be.
Well, that is a great backstory and certainly a good summertime read. Well, Ward, thanks so much for being on today and sharing what's going on with you and your station. And we look forward to your activity in the IARU contest here in a few weeks. And also, thank you once again for all you do to make this hobby better, because it is the best hobby in the world.
Greatest hobby in the world. Isn't that what Dave Bell said? W6AQ for years and years.
Years and years. And thanks to all of you for watching today. I hope you had fun. Get on the air and have some fun this weekend. And we'll see you next week for more DX engineering shows. Until then, 73.
73s.